Hey, Novellineal, doing some test plays today. So if you're running your map here, show yourself. You said obviously it's a full spread right now, but we're mostly focused on Expert Plus and Expert. So I think that's all I'm going to play today just for the sake of time since it's like a 3-minute song and such. Before I get started, I was going to mention the numbers. So like they seem really weird. Like I don't know how fast this is going to be, but like at a 4.6, I think 22 is just way too high and 24 is also too high. Like it does make the reaction times okay, but I would like lower this and then you could keep a consistent reaction time. Taking a quick look at the rest of the map, I feel like all the numbers kind of have something weird. So same problem with this one. I think both the numbers are just too high, even though the reaction time is probably fine. Hard, the note jump speed looks okay, but that jump distance looks way too high. And I think it was the same for the lower difficulties. Like anything above 25, I think it's just going to be way too high. So I'd probably do like, 25, 24, maybe 23, 22, 21. Again, you can play around with the individual numbers or we can talk more later. But I just want to point that out that even though the reaction times seem pretty reasonable for all the difficulties, these numbers are just really off to me. So I will try playing with your numbers. I mean, I'm probably not going to like these numbers because like this being too fast and this being too floaty, I'll probably miss a lot, but I'll try playing with your numbers because I always like to play with the mapper's numbers if you can. But that might have been a vision block there. This is very bottom row and kind of repetitive. Especially for Expert Plus. That might have been vision block there. Yeah, that's going to be vision. I mean, the chain is more questionable on whether that would be considered vision block. This is kind of like having it be this wide and like the two down out diagonals. I just kind of feel like was a little eh. And just everything is just very central. But again, that's subjective. The angles don't feel quite right through a lot of this. Well, that felt like unexpected, putting the red in the top corner like that. Because like you don't have anything like that in the rest of the map so far. But that part had a little bit more movement. I don't think that window made sense there. Yeah, it's just very central. Yeah, the angles didn't feel quite optimized with that, but I did like how you managed to get more movement through there. Yeah, I kind of didn't really feel the intensity to meet the window there either. I also just kind of feel like the consistency was off with that. Like, a lot of times you would have like a similar sounding section that would be all mapped to doubles, and then other times it would just be like individual notes and things like that. So I feel like you could just go more to like get a connection with the music if you had like every strong backbeat there would be a double, and as opposed to just like sometimes there was a double and sometimes there wasn't. So in terms of playability, it's fine. I am concerned there could be some vision issues with the chains there. I know some people don't mind chains for vision blocks and things like that, but just sometimes it was kind of hard to see things. You can probably actually help that by having the jump distance be a little bit lower too. Watch your half jump duration and stuff just to check. Like I said, it's hard to tell in the game set. I haven't run it through the map checker yet, so I don't really know what if it's flagging vision blocks or something. Okay, we'll go to expert. Yeah, that felt like a pretty big. Yeah, these are vision blocks on the red for sure. Yeah, this is kind of a good example where there's vision block there, where there's just like a lot going on in the music and it's just all single notes. Yeah, again, the very central, very bottom row heavy. And like even just coming like back to the middle lanes the whole time. Like I think you could introduce like a lot of movement just by having those doubles like in the outer lanes. Yeah, that whole section there, like everything just like there doesn't feel like there's that kind of flow and that setup through the angles here. Like they're all very hittable, but I don't feel like I'm kind of connected to this. Yeah, angle's not optimized here in my opinion, but this part feels much better with what I was mentioning. Sorry, I just wanted to listen for a sec. With like the doubles being mapped to the strong backbeats. Yeah, like what were those chains mapped to? Yeah, so sometimes you had the chains mapped to, I think it was the guitar, but other times it felt like they just weren't. Or you would have guitar and some vision issues here. And then you'd have guitar and it wasn't mapped to the chains. Everything just feels a little inconsistent. That was a good example. So the first one you had two chains for the bomb, and then the second one you had just double in a chain. Like it's not consistent. Okay, that was better. But yeah, see there, you had the bomb, and there were no chains on that last one. Like that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, and this is like, so that first verse where I was saying that there was like a good doubles for the backbeats, like all of that's just gone. Like that, I'm just using that as an example of what I mean about the consistency. Cool. Yeah, and I want to check the numbers. Like that didn't. Yeah, and it didn't feel significantly easier too than the Expert Plus. Like I'd maybe try nerfing it a little bit more. Oh, actually, I mean, again, I'm probably not going to play all these difficulties, but these numbers look way too high for easy and normal. Even 4 for hard is pretty high. Like normal, especially because like this isn't a high notes per second song. Normal, I usually put it like 2.5 to 2, and easy usually like 1 to 1.75, like unless it's a really high notes per second for your Expert Plus here. So yeah, and maybe work on your progression to make it a little bit more noticeably easier going to every difficulty. But again, I'm not actually playing these lowers, but like 3.62, unless you're not actually going for this for beginners and stuff, I think that's just going to be way too high. I'm guessing that's probably high because you have a lot of doubles, maybe. But yeah, it's only like 800 notes, or it's only 200 notes lower, less than 200 notes lower than the Expert Plus. So I think that's just going to be way too hard. Okay, so I think I'll just kind of leave it there. I do think it needs quite a bit of work. Like I said, I would focus on your representation, mapping specific notes to specific sounds, like doubles to the backbeats, the change to the guitars, things like that. I'd probably recommend getting a little bit more flow and movement and not just saying in the center 2 lanes as much. Again, that's personal, but I think that would just make everything a little bit more dancey, or not dancey, but like movement. And I would probably get a lot of the notes off of the bottom/middle row, especially for your top difficulties. Like try to utilize the whole board, get a little bit more motion through there. I think that's kind of what I would recommend for sort of taking the map to the next level. But for what it's worth, it is playable. And then just watching some of the angles and stuff too, to make sure that you're optimizing the rotations and things like that. So I will leave it there, and I hope that helps.